Welcome back to the 2 Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the Washington football team and going over whether or not they should try and trade for all-pro cornerback Stephon Gilmore. But before getting to that topic, just a quick question for those of you viewing, especially the Washington fans out there. How far do you have the football team going in 2021? You think they'll win the division? You think they'll go to the NFC Championship? You think they'll bring home the Lombardi Trophy or go home early in the playoffs? Whatever your prediction is, comment down below and you'll kind of hear my answer throughout. But getting straight into it, former All-Pro cornerback, former Defensive Player of the Year, Stephon Gilmore is supposedly on the trading block. Should the Washington football team be looking to reach out? To me, I've made several other videos on this, on the Stephon Gilmore topic on who should trade for him. And to me, the basic necessity or the basic requirements as to why I think you should trade for Gilmore is if you're a team that is really possibly one piece away from going to that next level. Washington, their defense is as good as it gets. It's a top 5 defense. They arguably have the best front 4 in all of football. But if you want to go from a top 5 defense to top 3 to maybe top 1, a guy like Stephon Gilmore could maybe do that. Up front, we know how good it is with Chase Young emerging, Montez Sweat emerging. You got Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen. Their linebacker core had a small hole, easily replaced with Jamin Davis in the NFL draft. In the secondary, they lost Ronald Darby, replaced him with an even better corner in free agency, William Jackson, to help out Cameron Curl, Landon Collins, Kendall Fuller. You added Bobby McCain. That's a star secondary. It's a solid secondary. You add in Stephon Gilmore, it might be one of the best secondaries in the NFL. Like I said, Washington, do they absolutely need Stephon Gilmore? No, but no team needs anything technically if you want to lose games or you don't want to win the Super Bowl. But there's some point in time where it wouldn't hurt to have him on the team. And it's really going to come down to a couple of things. A, the price. B, is Washington feeling aggressive? How much is Stephon Gilmore being traded for? If the Patriots are being stubborn, like we're trading for a first rounder over, only tell the Patriots to move off and go do their own thing. Good luck finding that. But if they're looking for a 3rd round pick, a 4th round pick, a 2nd and 6th, some kind of day 2 or day 3 combo or day 2 or day 3 picks, then you start to consider, look, Washington this year, while we believe in Fitzpatrick, he needs all the help he can get because he's such a wild card player. I'd rather have an extra guy on defense to rely on just in case Ryan Fitzpatrick has one of those off days. And to me, you can't go wrong with that argument. Looking at the offense, Ryan Fitzpatrick has a solid O-line. He's got good protection after keeping Scherf. They added Samuel Cosme. In the backfield, you got Antonio Gibson, who's a pretty good runner, yet he can actually catch the ball out of the backfield very well. J.D. McKissick's not a bad backup. Receiving core is looking pretty good after you added Curtis Samuel and Scary Terry together. You drafted De'Ami Brown. You got Cam Sims. You got Logan Thomas finally going to have I feel like this is going to be his best season yet at the tight end position. I like the Washington offense, and Fitzpatrick, even though I like him, and sometimes he has a game where he throws 450 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks. There's other games where he has 200 yards, 1 pick, 1 touchdown. It's nothing special, and you really need your defense to step up. You need someone to make a stop, someone to turn over the ball. And am I bringing in Stephon Gilmore as this absolute ball hawk to just get turnover off of turnover? No, I'm not. But am I getting him to create a stop, force a 3rd and 8 to become a 4th and 8, just shut down a first down possibility? That's how good of a corner Stephon Gilmore is. I think people forget how good he really is at his peak level. There's a couple issues with this. He's 30 going on 31. He's coming off somewhat of an injury. He's only on a 1-year contract. But if Washington believes they can make a serious run this year, why not make your Super Bowl window even bigger this year by adding an all-pro quarterback? Former Defensive Player of the Year, like I said, that's kind of a title that's just being thrown around, but really there's a lot that goes to that name. Most Defensive Players of the Year goes to pass rushers like a J.J. Watt, like an Aaron Donald. It's very rare a cornerback wins that. So for Stephon Gilmore to do that just 1 year ago, that's a pretty big deal, and it shows how high of a level he could play at. Do I think he'll be the number 1 corner again in Washington? No, but I think in a very well-coached defense with Ron Rivera and a very good secondary to kind of feed off of each other, and Kendall Fuller and William Jackson, Stephon Gilmore could easily be top 5, top 3 again. I still think he's arguably in the top 5. Jalen Ramsey, Jair Alexander, Xavier Howard, Marshawn Lattimore, Tre'Davious White, Marlon Humphrey. Stephon Gilmore is in that bracket of tier 1, tier 2 corners. Those are kind of all tier 1 in my opinion. The top dogs, he's on par with every single one of those. And to me, that's already good enough, but who's to say he can't get even better with a great coach in Ron Rivera? And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, I don't think he's going to play better with Ron Rivera than he would with Belichick. I know, But I'm just saying it's not like being combined with Ron Rivera in an even better secondary than he's playing with in New England that he won't be playing at a high level again. So to me, if the price is right, such as he's going for a day 2 or day 3 pick, I'm trading for him. If Washington truly believes this is their year to make a run at the Super Bowl, I'm trading for him. I'm making as good as a shot as I can. If all it costs is a 3rd round pick, you're not going to draft a 3rd round player that's better, that gives you a better chance at the Super Bowl than Stephon Gilmore, at least in a 1-year deal, a rookie year versus Stephon Gilmore's 1 more year under his contract. You're just not. Is a team on board with it? Is Ron Rivera on board with it? I know this isn't a very aggressive team in the sense, hey, they didn't trade up in the draft for a real deal quarterback. Hey, they didn't trade for a real deal quarterback like Sam Darnold. They went out there and got Ryan Fitzpatrick, who that's aggressive and risky because we don't know what he is. Like I said, he has those weird games where you don't know what you're getting out of him, but they're not aggressive in the sense of making big moves and trade and getting a blockbuster player. But a guy that's going on 31 on a 1-year deal, I don't know if that is a blockbuster move, and that might be right up their alley of Ron Rivera in the front office. I'm for it. I'm not a Washington fan, but I'm just like any other guy. How do you not like and root for Ryan Fitzpatrick? He's one of the coolest players and most easily rootable players in the league, so I'd love to see Washington do good. I like their young defense, Montez Sweat, Chase Young. I think they're both going to get double-digit sacks. William Jackson, Kendall Fuller, they're going to eat up wide receivers. You add on Stephon Gilmore, they're going to do even better in this offense. Like I said, I'm rooting for Fitzpatrick, but I know he has his struggles, but I think Scary Terry can help him. I think Curtis Samuel can help him. I think Logan Thomas can help him. Antonio Gibson, a packed O-line. You can make an argument this is the best team Ryan Fitzpatrick's ever played on. I think we're going to see a lot of career years out of this young Washington football team. I know Fitzpatrick's not young, but you guys know what I mean. A lot of the fundamental and new foundation to this team is very young for the upcoming future. Either way, it's going to be up to Washington. I'm for them trading for him. This could really, at this point in time, you just don't want to see him go to a team in your division. You know, you don't want a Giants or Cowboys trade for him. At this point, you just want to get him on your team so he's not going against your biggest rival. I mean, obviously, that's not the only reason you want to trade for Stephon Gilmore, but it's definitely an extra factor you want to throw in the mix if you hear a Cowboys or Giants being in the talks making a move for Stephon Gilmore. I'd much rather have him on my team than be going against him twice a year, and that's for dang sure if I'm the Washington football team. But as always, we'll just have to see. You guys let me know. Do you agree that Washington should trade for Stephon Gilmore? To me, there's not many teams out there that shouldn't trade for Stephon Gilmore unless you're like a Texans, Lions, Eagles, some of the worst 3 teams in the NFL. Any team that's contending and thinking they can make a playoff run or a Super Bowl run should go out there and make a phone call to the New England Patriots. And that's all I'm asking for Washington. Just make a phone call, see what he costs, at least show some effort. And I'm fine with that as long as they put in some effort to see, hey, what is he going to cost? Is he only going to be a 4th rounder? Yeah, we'll take him on our already stacked secondary. And yeah, we'll take a guaranteed playoff run at that point. But we'll just have to see. I'm getting a little skeptical or speculative here, but I got high hopes for this Washington team. As always, guys, like I said, comment down below. Do you agree with my take? And referring back to the question of the day, how far do you think Washington will go this year? I like them to win the division. It's a tough division. NFC East, is it the worst division in football? Yes, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as what it was last year, as in a below 500 team comes out and wins it. Dak's going to be back. Giants added a bunch of big free agents and a bunch of big NFL draft rookies. Kadarius Toney, Kenny Golladay, Adoree Jackson. Leonard Williams was re-signed for a big extension. There's some stacked rosters in the NFC East, and while Washington's on par with them, I think they can win the division, and I think we could seriously see them get a playoff win depending on if Ryan Fitzpatrick has his best year, and of course, depending on the playoff matchup. I don't have them winning the Super Bowl, but I think they could be a serious playoff threat like they were last year and make things really interesting. But you guys tell me, as always, and of course, thank you for watching. I truly appreciate it, guys. 2 in the morning.